In a bustling town, Karan, a kind-hearted and intelligent young man, was living a seemingly idyllic life surrounded by his loving family. However, beneath the surface, he harbored doubts about his independence and self-sufficiency. He constantly relied on others for decisions and problem-solving, which led him to question his capability to handle life on his own. These thoughts often haunted him, but he dismissed them, focusing instead on his comfortable life that lacked real challenges. One day, an unexpected opportunity arose that would test his mettle. Karan received a job offer in a distant city, presenting him with the chance to live independently for the first time. His parents, protective and hesitant, opposed the idea, fearing he wasn't prepared. But the inner voice that craved self-reliance won, and Karan decided to embark on this new journey alone, stepping into the unknown with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Initially, the transition was fraught with difficulties. Karan struggled with daily tasks that were previously taken care of by his family. He had to learn to cook, manage finances, and solve everyday problems without a safety net. Each day brought new challenges, from a burnt meal to a missed bill payment, making him realize just how sheltered his life had been. However, these hurdles began to forge a new sense of confidence within him. As Karan adapted to his new life, he started to appreciate the small victories, perfecting a recipe, balancing his budget, fixing a leaky faucet. These accomplishments, though minor, were monumental for him, marking his transformation from dependence to self-reliance. He also discovered new hobbies and interests that he never knew he had, filling his spare time with activities that were solely his own choices. One evening, after a particularly long day, Karan sat alone in his apartment, reflecting on his journey. The solitude that once felt daunting now brought a peaceful introspection. He realized that living alone had not just changed his daily routines, but had reshaped his identity. He was no longer the person who needed constant guidance and support. He had become his own anchor, finding strength in his newfound independence. As days turned into weeks, Karan's confidence soared. He no longer hesitated to make decisions, no matter how small. From choosing a brand of coffee to handling a dispute with his landlord, he relied on his judgment and learned from each experience. This newfound confidence spilled over into his professional life as well, where he tackled projects and presentations with a vigor that surprised even his colleagues. During this transformative period, Karan also learned the true value of money. Living alone meant every penny counted. He became adept at budgeting, saving for emergencies, and making financial decisions that would have previously overwhelmed him. This practical understanding of finances was empowering, teaching him the importance of financial independence and planning. Meanwhile, Karan's emotional landscape was evolving. The initial loneliness of living alone gave way to a robust emotional resilience. He learned to manage his feelings without leaning on others, finding solace in activities like reading, meditation, and jogging. These activities, once mere fillers of time, became crucial tools for his emotional well-being, helping him navigate the highs and lows of solitary life. The growth Karan experienced was also evident in his relationships. Distance made him realize the importance of his family and friends, whom he had taken for granted. Each phone call home and every visit from a friend became precious, deepening his appreciation for his relationships. He now understood that while he could live independently, the bonds he shared with others added rich layers to his life. Freedom, too, became a cherished aspect of living alone. Without anyone to answer to, Karan enjoyed the liberty to decorate his space, explore his interests, and set his own schedule. This freedom was exhilarating, allowing him to live authentically and make choices that reflected his true self, unencumbered by others' expectations or judgments. Through these myriad changes, Karan emerged a disciplined individual. Living alone forced him to develop routines and stick to them, whether it was waking up early for a morning run or setting aside time for chores. This discipline extended beyond mere time management. It was about self-care, responsibility, and taking charge of his life in ways he had never done before. As Karan continued to live alone, he overcame his fear of solitude. What once felt like an oppressive silence transformed into a soothing calm. He found joy in his own company, indulging in hobbies and passions that resonated with his soul. This solitude, once his greatest fear, had become his sanctuary, offering him the space to grow, reflect, and ultimately thrive. When Karan returned to his hometown after months of living alone, he met with his wise old grandfather. Their conversation revealed the depth of Karan's transformation. He proudly shared his experiences and the lessons learned, emphasizing how stepping out of his comfort zone was the catalyst for his growth. His grandfather nodded, a look of pride in his eyes, acknowledging that true growth often comes from facing life's challenges alone. His grandfather, wise and observant, smiled thoughtfully, recognizing the profound change in Karan. Living on your own teaches you not just about the practicalities of daily life, but also about the depths of your own spirit, he remarked. Karan nodded, understanding that his journey of self-discovery was far from over. It was clear to him now that every challenge he faced while living alone was actually an opportunity to learn more about himself. Karan shared stories of nights spent wrestling with self-doubt and days when he conquered small fears. Each narrative was a testament to his evolution from a dependent son to an independent adult. He realized that each obstacle he overcame alone had fortified his will and sharpened his instincts. These stories were not just recountings of survival, but celebrations of a journey toward self-reliance and maturity. As winter turned to spring, Karan's apartment became a reflection of his growth. Each item, each piece of furniture he had chosen, told a story of a decision made independently. His space was no longer just a living area, but a canvas that displayed his progress. He learned the importance of creating an environment that could nurture and reflect his inner state, which further solidified his sense of self. Karan also discovered the liberating power of making choices entirely on his own. From simple decisions like what to eat for dinner to more significant ones like investing his savings or planning a solo vacation, each choice built his confidence. This newfound empowerment was exhilarating. He was crafting a life on his terms, guided by his desires and judgments. The solitude that had once seemed daunting now offered profound clarity. In the quiet moments alone, Karan found himself engaging in introspection that was both deep and transformative. He explored his aspirations and fears, confronted his shortcomings, and celebrated his strengths. This inner dialogue, often lost in the noise of constant companionship, was crucial in shaping his path forward. Living alone also taught Karan the value of self-discipline. Without the external enforcement of rules or schedules, he was responsible for creating and maintaining his own routines. This discipline extended to his work life, where he adopted a proactive approach, anticipating needs and addressing challenges without waiting for directions. His professional life blossomed as his colleagues and superiors began to notice his initiative and reliability. Emotional resilience became one of Karan's most significant gains. He learned to comfort himself during times of stress and to find joy in his own company during moments of loneliness. This emotional strength proved invaluable as he navigated the complexities of personal and professional relationships with a calm and balanced perspective. Through living alone, Karan also came to appreciate the quieter, often overlooked moments of life. The morning sunlight streaming through his window, the peacefulness of a book read without interruptions, and the satisfaction of a home-cooked meal became sources of joy. These small pleasures, once overshadowed by the chaos of family life, now took center stage in his daily existence. The journey of living alone refined Karan's understanding of freedom. It was not just the absence of constraints, but the presence of choice in how to live, who to be, and what to pursue. This realization was liberating, as it opened a world of possibilities where he felt capable of achieving whatever he set his mind to. Finally, as Karan's story came to a close during his visit home, he realized that living alone had not isolated him, but instead deepened his connections with others. Each relationship was now more meaningful, enriched by his own personal growth. He no longer took his loved ones for granted, but saw each interaction as precious and enriching. Reflecting on his journey, Karan understood that living alone was not merely a phase, but a transformative experience that reshaped his worldview and remolded his character. It was a pivotal chapter in his life's story, one that taught him about the power of self-reliance, the beauty of self-discovery, and the enduring strength of human spirit. As he shared these insights with his grandfather, both men appreciated the profound impact of taking that leap of faith into the unknown, which had indeed turned out to be the best decision of Karan's life.